Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, folks, wherever you are. Welcome back to M1 Racing and the end. Would you believe it? The final round of the G-Force Racing Elite League Season 5. This has really flown by for me this season, and I've got to say, it's probably my favourite season of the lot so far. We've had some absolutely brilliant races throughout Season 5, and I'm very much hoping we sign off with a particularly good one today. David T, welcome to the Twitch chat. I hope you're well, my friend, on what I hope is a very warm and sunny day in Texas. And we're coming to you, David, for the final round of Season 5. We are indeed travelling out to the circuit of the Americas for the final race of the season. But let me bring you up to speed. Thank you, David T, for cupcakes in the Twitch chat. It's my birthday today, folks. So, and I've had some very warm wishes from a number of the drivers in the Twitch chat. And David T is now sending me some cake, which is even better. So that will keep me going through today's race, I am sure. But yeah, if we've not met before, my name is Mark. I'm going to be your host here on M1 Racing for the final round of Season 5. And Emerge KD's and new champion of GFR secured the championship in the last race. So let me bring up the results because that's where we're going next. So Emerge KD's did more than enough last week to secure victory in the championship, but not before their teammate of Goat Ghosty took their first victory of Season 5 in Vegas. 25 points for Goat, their first time on the top step in Season 5. They had a few attempts at it before, but they've done it now. Thank you, Emerge, for the birthday wishes. I'm very grateful. So Goat Ghosty and Emerge KD's tops the standings last week. That meant Emerge KD's was our drivers' champion for Season 5. So a lap of honour for Emerge this week, but they've still got to keep their wits about them, the RB team, because I actually called this wrong last week, folks. So I hold my hands up. The calculator, my brain broke completely. I thought RB had done enough to take the Constructors title, but it was quickly realised as soon as we finished last week's stream that I was entirely wrong, and it's not over yet. We'll come to that in a moment. Let me talk you through the final results from last week. So Ghosty first, Emerge KD second. Brilliant drive from SS7, finished on third spot, and that was enough to keep Mercedes in with the shout of the Constructors Championship this time around. Stravatza came home in fourth, their best, I think, finishing position in G-Force Racing Elite League history for them. So congratulations to Stravatza on a very good drive last week. They're going to be out again this week, I believe. Yeah, I see them in the lobby already. Emil finished in fifth. Liam Mag, who had been pushing Emerge through the second half of Season 5 and really outside chance of taking the championship, but they did push all the way, but last week was not their race. So Liam finished in sixth, and as you can see was the last of our finishers last week. A very small grid. We welcomed back Obo, who was going very well during that race, but unfortunate collision with Goat. That was enough for Obo to say goodbye to us in Vegas. And Mr. Hannes, we had Mr. Hannes back, taking a break from his regular studies, come and join us in Vegas, but didn't last very long, not even setting a lap time. So we only had 8 drivers out last week. We're hoping for a slightly larger grid this week, but we're coming to the end of the F1 24 game cycle. We know people start to drift away around this point as we get ready for the release of F1 25, which is only next week for those of us that have pre-purchased. So I was able to download the files early onto my PC, so looking forward to activating that as soon as we can, and we'll start looking at what F1 25 has in store for us. But it does mean we have a slightly smaller grid this week, but don't let that detract from the quality of the racing, folks. It's going to be, if Vegas is anything to go by, we were glued to our screens last week, even with these 8 drivers out there. So what did that mean for the standings? Well, as I mentioned, and I pressed the wrong button there. Let's bring that video back up and I'll move it forward to the actual racing from last week, folks, in Vegas. And we'll get rid of the results from last week so you can see all of the driver standings. So Emerge victorious, 184 points, well clear of Liam Mag now in second. But now Liam is looking over their shoulder. Ghosty is in with a shout of second place. They need all the chips to fall in the right order. We'll do the maths on this in just a moment. I've got my calculator out earlier, so I'll talk you through the potential scenarios in a little while. Jakob, with a strong victory in China, is in with a shout for third place. as is SS7. And if M1 Righty does join us, I saw they were tentative, but they're also in with a shout. Sadly, no Marcel or Emil, so the Red Bull drivers won't be making a final last-minute bid for a place on the podium in the drivers' standings. But we'll talk you through those scenarios in just a moment. Evan Dorling on 61, Jaguar Paul 59, Obo there on 58. They would have added to their haul if they managed to get to the end of last week. Jakob O, who we saw standing in for Jakob H for a big chunk of season 5, scored 50 points in the process. Gio on 18, Srivatsa there on 17, adding to their points haul by that strong 4th place finish last week in Vegas. And sadly for us, Daddy Talk or E36 Go, that was their first race I think of the entire season. They just were not with us, so didn't get any points last week for E36 Go, but I see they're in the lobby this week, so they'll be looking to add to that. So let me talk you through these scenarios. Goat Ghosty needs 22 points more than Liam to take 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. So look for a very, very big gap for Goat to be in front of Liam to take that 2nd place. It's doable mathematically, but it's going to be a huge ask. I believe Liam's going to be with us. If not, then if Goat wins today, they are going to take 2nd place. Desaves or Jakob H, they need 3 more points than Goat Ghosty for 3rd, or 24 more points than Liam for 2nd. So it's going to be a tough ask for Jakob H to take 2nd. Our season 4 champion, remember, Jakob H, still very quick and has missed a big chunk of season 5, but is still in with a shout, finishing in the top 3 for G-Force Racing season 5. So Jakob H has had a pretty strong season, even considering the number of races that they've missed. SS7, hope you're keeping track of all this, folks. I've got it written down in front of me, so I'll do my best to remind you as we go through the racing. SS7 needs 4 more points than Goat Ghosty in today's race, and 2 more points than Jakob H to take 3rd. So SS7 needs a lot of things to go their way to take 3rd place in the championship here today, and both the Mercedes drivers are out there, but they're out there because there's a Constructors Championship on the line here today as well. I'm just watching the drivers chat, folks, out the corner of my eye. SS7 is just tracing down a couple of drivers to make sure everyone is lined up. We got Jaguar Paul back this week, which is brilliant. Nice to see Jaguar Paul out on track, as well as Tom 1998 returning to G-Force Racing 2nd half of this season. Good to have Tom back with us as well. So I'll remind you of some of these permutations as we get into qualifying and then into the race. But there are 4 drivers fighting it out essentially for 3rd place here. M1 Righty is one of those if they do join us in the race today, but they need quite a lot of things to go their way to take 3rd spot. So we'll see what the gaps are between Goat Ghosty, Liam, SS7 and Jakob H as we go through this evening's race, coming to us from the Circuit of the Americas, Texas in the US of A. So constructors, that's the next important thing for us to talk about. It's really only between RB and Mercedes here for the victory in the Constructors Champions. Now, I did, as I mentioned, got it entirely wrong last week. I had given it to the RBs. They haven't done it just yet. So it's 33 points separating those 2 teams, but there's 44 points available this evening. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. We'll have to watch for where the RBs are. We've got both RBs, I believe, going to be out on track with, yes, Emerge and Goat Ghosty are in the lobby. So they're going to be fighting out. Good, strong result here for RB. They've got it nailed on, but a bad day for RB, and Mercedes may still in there and take that Constructors title. We will have to wait and see. So it's all lined up very neatly for us. And as has become a little bit of a feature on M1 Racing of the 2nd half of Season 5, is we continue to bring you live football. So you'll see in the right-hand side of your screen, folks, obviously a big match in the UEFA Europa League. Tottenham against Manchester United. That's a live score. That will update once they get underway. Pretty much now, actually. They should be kicking off any moment now. I'll do my best to keep you updated in terms of scorers but you'll see that score should update pretty much in real time as we go through today's race. And it does look as though we are readying up. So we are going to head out to the Circuit of the Americas for one last time with GeForce Racing Season 5 on F1 24. Let's see what this grand finale has in store for us. I'll see you the other side of this. Don't go anywhere, folks.
On the inside of Cox, SS7 goes with them. It's wheel to wheel as we head down towards Vale. 3 cars wide coming down the strip. All right, folks, let's go racing.
And although we are coming to the end of Season 5 here, and there will be no more league racing or Ironman for a little while as we wait and get used to F1 25, do keep an eye out for updates for the league. And on my YouTube and Twitch channel, we will keep you informed as DFR gets back up and running with league proceedings with the new game. And you'll be able to keep informed. Head over to the Discord server, sign up over there, come and say hi to the GFR crowd. Very welcoming bunch of people. You'll have some fun with us. Come and join in some early friendlies on the new game. And I dare say Iron Man will get underway pretty quickly as well as we settle into that. And then if you'd like to come and join us on a Wednesday, you'll be able to race alongside these folks for Season 6, and if Season 5 has been anything to go by, I am very much looking forward to that. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves, and Srivatsa is looking to set up for their first flying lap for the Haas team. Their home Grand Prix. This is Srivatsa warming those tyres up. Look, lovely. We come down the very long straight here in Texas. Lots of similarities, this track here in Austin, to the likes of Silverstone and Suzuka in certain parts, particularly the S's between turns 5 and 9, and then the kind of tight section where Srivatsa is right now, very reminiscent of the stadium section at Hockenheim, which obviously, F1 doesn't currently race at, but you get real mixture of tight, twisty parts of the circuit as well as really fast parts of the circuit as well, which really tests our drivers' ability and also their setups. And trying to get that balance right is going to be all important. Let's ride on board with Srivatsa as they take their Haas on a flying lap of the Circuit in Americas, and they come up to that section I was talking about, through turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then up the hill through 8 and 9. There's 8. Take a lot of curb through there. Then 9. Don't drift out wide over the curbs, otherwise we'll invalidate our lap. Heading down through turn 11, that tight hairpin at 11. Now we're going to get the DRS open. We hear the beep as Srivatsa crosses the activation line. Taking as much speed as we possibly can. The track will start to fall away from us as we brake for turn 12. Sharp left-hander, then down to 13. There's a dip on the apex of 13. Back on the power again, try and guide this ass through 14 and then 15. Another dip on the inside, right on the apex of the car, bottoms out as we try and get back on the power. Then through 16 and 17. Then through 18, and we're going to go down the hill again through 19. Ghosty fastest on track so far, 131.478. Where is Srivatsa going to land? as they come through turn 20, 131.359. So very good time from Srivatsa at this early stage. Who else is out there? So my good friend E36 Goat, driving for McLaren this season. They're coming through turn 12, which will be the scene of a number of overtakes, I dare say, today. Certainly a few overtaking opportunities in this part of the lap. Remember, the fastest man on track to beat right now is Srivatsa, 131.359. Just a tenth away from now SS7, 131.462. Good laps already for Srivatsa and SS7. Where is E36 Goat going to finish there? It's very tight to the inside, E36. And I think they invalidated right at the very end. I did think they cut that line a little bit too tight there. Well, here's our Season 5 champion. Emerge KDs has driven supremely well this season. Supremely well. A thoroughly deserved champion of G-Force Racing. But they've still got one more race to go. And how they would love to take the Constructors title here for RB as well. They'll have to keep a close eye on Jakob and SS7. SS7 currently holding P2 in qualifying. Emerge's teammate of Ghosty, 131.478. Emerge will certainly be looking to beat that. I'll bring the tyres up, folks, just in case Goat set those on mediums. Now, everyone's doing their laps on softs here. I don't think we'll see softs in the race. I dare say the preferred choice is going to be mediums and hard, unless we get a safety car right towards the end. But this track here absolutely eats soft tyres, so I think drivers will be unafraid to use their soft tyres during qualifying. As usual, folks, we only have the one qualifying session here with the G-Force Racing Elite League. 18 minutes for our drivers to set the fastest possible time for them. They can use whatever tyres they have in the garage. Down the final corner here, turn 20. DRS opens one more time, 131.427. That shows you how good a time that was from Srivatsa. 131.359 has not yet been beaten, and Emerge could not do anything about it. Jaguar Paul, we welcome back Jaguar Paul. Missed them last week in Vegas. The sole representative of the Williams team today. Jaguar Paul looking to get on the board, and while Jaguar Paul is navigating this, let's bring out the track map. That helps to see if anyone has invalidated. Track limits will be a factor here in the race itself, as well as during qualifying. That fast section from turns 3 to 9, that will catch a couple of our drivers out for sure, particularly as tyres start to go away. And then just coming out the last couple of corners, turn 19, famous for track limit infringements in the real world, and it's no different here on the F1 24 game. So expect a few penalties to be applied during the race. We have no Emelecki with us this week though, so someone else will have to take the crown of most track limit penalties today if we do end up getting any. Jaguar Paul looks to have kept this one clean, and 132 dead for them. Put some provisional P5. Now, TM1 Active, I believe, is a new addition for us, unless somebody is going to let me know that's one of the more established drivers and they've changed their EA ID. But TM1 Active, I wonder if that might be Sydney. Well, I'll ask one of the drivers if anyone's listening to me and happens to know who TM1 Active is, unless that is one of the new drivers. Perhaps they will let me know. But driving for Ferrari. Yeah, and I do see Liam Mag has said they're unable to make it this evening. So Liam has left the door open for Goat Ghosty and Jakob H to still second place in the championship. And so the sole Ferrari out there today is TM1 Active. They are have invalidated their laps, and they're cutting all sorts of corners there. So doesn't look as though they're going to be on the running order just yet. Tom 1998, very strong driver here with G-Force Racing. As Jakob Plosca goes fastest of anyone, a 130.958 for Jakob H. Remember, Mercedes need pretty much a 1-2 here to have any chance of taking that Constructors title. Got to finish 34 points clear of the RBs by the end of today. Tom 1998, though, will be in the mix at the front of this race for sure. We're already halfway through qualifying, so this has gone very quick already. So Tom trying to get their first time on the board. The only drivers yet to get a time other than Tom, E36 Goat, who is on an out lap. We saw them invalidating earlier on at the very end of their lap. Tom 1998, who were with, and then TM1 Active, who was exploring the circuit of the Americas. And Tom Cones over the line with a very strong time, 131.270. See Srivatsa and Emerge KD's back out again. Down to Goat, who is trying to improve, coming through sector. Bring up my qualifying timing screen, folks, see if I get a sense of how Goat is doing. And may just be setting up here. Yeah, they are just setting up. So Goat will be going again in a moment. We'll see if Ghosty can improve. E36 Goat is on a hot lap. We'll get to E36, shall we? See if we can get a time in for the McLaren driver here. See where they're going to start this race. There'll be enough time for one more lap back into the pits. A bit of fuel, another set of tyres, and come back out again. We've got just about enough time for that. So E36 Goat trying to get a time on the board, very close to track limits, and we say there, the track map goes red, goes slightly too wide. Let's get back down to Goat Ghosty then. So E36 Goat will have to do it all again. I wonder how much fuel they've put in that McLaren, or whether they will pit new set of tyres and go one more time. So can Goat improve on that? Oh, that's that Red Bull, sorry, the RB letting go there. So Goat will have to set up again. The car gets very light as you come through turn 8, try and set yourself up to go pretty direct through turn 9, and the RB, the back end of that, just gave way on Goat there. Get back to Srivatsa, who set a very strong opening qualifying time, that 131.359, currently provisional P3. Trying to improve as they come down through sector 2. It's long straight, braking about 100 metres out, or there or thereabouts. How late do you dare? They're fractionally up, but not hugely, but fractionally. It's close enough to get closer to Tom 1998. Could still provisional P2 here. Jakob H is the only driver yet to get in the 130s. Could be Srivatsa be the next driver to do it. Staying within those track limits. One more corner to survive. Want a good exit out of here. Where they really did improve. They have 3/10 in that last sector alone. 131.033. Srivatsa moves into provisional P2. Watch for Srivatsa here today as Emerge KDs goes fastest. 130.935 for them. So our championship winner setting the pace for everyone else. Goat Ghosty is going again. That back end of that RB is very loose, it would seem, for Goat. Remember, this is where they lost it last lap around. They look good through here now. Got very skittish RB in the hands of Goat Ghosty, really flicking aggressively the car around into turn 11. Back on the power. DRS now open. They've got some ground to make up, but bear in mind it's only half a second here between first and sixth place at the moment. Lock up on the left front as we brake heavily into turn 12. And Goat is down by 3/10, so they've really got to go some in this last section here, even to move further up. This is opening the door for Mercedes. It's certainly giving them some hope in the Constructors Championship. An E36 does get on the board, 132.879. I know they'll be looking for a little bit more, but at least E36 Goat does have a time on the board. TM1 Active trying to get their first time on the board. They look clean through there so far. Up the rise there through turn 9. Then we're going to dive back down again through 10. No DRS there, but that's where the detection point is, just as we approach turn 11. Now, what time is TM1 going to have on the board? We don't have to worry about yellow flags during qualifying here, folks. That's just drivers slowing down to get out of each other's way or warm up tyres. And actually, it's very quiet on track. 4 minutes just left to go. TM1 cuts that corner pretty tight on the way in to 12, trying to shorten that line as much as they can. Lots of our drivers, we see it would go, and we see it now with TM1 active, really flicking those rear ends of their cars around, trying to get as much turn in as they possibly can so they can line up straight for the next part of the track. The TM1 coming around the final corners here. Just stay within track limits, TM1. They have had enough of that. So no lap time for TM1 still. At the moment, they are going to be starting at the back of this grid. E36 Goat is also heading on their way back into the pit lane. So whilst we look for our drivers to come out again, let me remind you of what the driver standings look like as we go into the final race of the season here. Emerge KDs has that championship nailed on already, 184 points, but there's no Liam Mag. So Goat Ghosty just needs 22 points and they are going to take second place here. But that means Goat has got to finish first. They've got no other options. The only way they can take second is if they win this race here in Texas. They want to hold on the third spot there. They are going to need to finish ahead pretty much of Jakob H and more likely SS7. Otherwise, both of the Mercedes drivers will be looking to sneak in and steal that third place away from Goat Ghosty. And that qualifying time for 1:31.478 right now is going to look a little bit nervous for them with the two Mercedes in front of them. And remember, it's tight in the Constructors as well. 33 points just separating the RBs and Mercedes here. So Jakob and SS7 looking for a very strong, probably double podium finish here to stand any chance of closing that down. But it's doable, particularly if Goat Ghosty is struggling a little bit here. So all our drivers on final warm-up laps here. Jaguar Paul looks to be the first to be pushing here with just 1 minute 40 seconds left to go. The really brave drivers will have fueled this to the absolute minimum. Try and get as much speed as they can, make the best use of their tyres. Jaguar Paul looking to improve on that 1:32.055. Heading down towards turn 11. Again, a lock up on the left-hand side as they brake heavily into the tight left-hander. Into the DRS zone. Still 0-0 between Spurs and Man United there. 17 minutes into the match. Jaguar Paul taking an incredibly tight line through 12. And they are up just over 1.5 tenths. They come through the final section of the lap. That dip on the inside there. The 15 is a real challenge for our drivers to negotiate and keep some traction and grip as they do so. Jaguar Paul staying well within track limits as they came through 90. Looks like a nice line through 20. Back on the power and improves by 6 tenths. Jaguar Paul 1:31.446 puts them provisional P5. SS7 I think has invalidated already and they're not going to have any time left. So SS7 is not going to improve from that 1:31.462. What can Goat Ghosty do here as they're being dragged along? I think that's their teammate of Emerge KD's in front. Indeed it is. So the RBs working together once again as we've seen throughout this season, and half a second up for Goat Ghosty. This is the time they need to set. They want to be towards the front end of the grid alongside their teammate of Emerge KD's to really secure the Constructors title and potentially take second place in the Drivers' Championship. Jakob Loska sets a 1:30.608. Strong improvement from Jakob H there. What can Goat Ghosty do? Round the final corners here. 1:30.944 enough for P3 for Goat Ghosty. Travazza's going one more time. Has not improved. That looks like 6 tenths down there. Can Tom 1998 do anything to make an impression on the front row of this grid. They're 2 and a bit tenths up as they come through sector 2. There is a car in front, but it looks way off in the distance. Should not disrupt the Alpine. As I say that, the Alpine gets all sorts of sideways as they came through turn 15. That tricky dip I mentioned to you about. That's going to catch a few of our drivers out, particularly when they are pushing very, very hard. Tom manages to keep one wheel within track limits. Coming through 19, final corner over the start-finish line. It does improve by just under 4 tenths, 130.906. That demotes Ghosty down to P4, and Jaguar Paws heading into the pits. So that is it. That is qualifying for the final race of Season 5. So no time on the board eventually for TM1 Active, sadly for them. So they will be starting at the back of the grid. Jakob H is on pole. A great place for Mercedes to be. SS7 has some work to do though, to work their way up through the field here. But we are only separated, certainly in the midfield, only by half a second. But there's quite some gap between Jakob H and Emerge KDs there. So Jakob, 130.608. Pole position for them. Emerge KDs alongside them. 2 GFR champions on the front row. Tom 1998 in third. Good qualifying from them. Ghosty in fourth. Srivatsa in fifth. Followed by Jaguar Paul in their return. Then comes SS7, E36 Goat, and TM1 Active is going to be pushing the field along as we get underway here. Yeah, Merch, he looked to have very strong pace there, and Jakob H just put in a blinder of a lap right at the end. But there's not a huge amount between you and the cars around you, so this could be a tight one. And you'll see, folks, a lot of our drivers will stay pretty close to each other, certainly whilst their tyres are on an equal footing, leveraging the DRS down the back straight between turns 11 and 12, and along the main pit straight also, turn 20 up the hill into turn 1. It will allow our drivers to stay pretty close together here for probably a large chunk of the race, as we saw just last week in Vegas, that we pretty much had the whole grid running line astern for almost the whole race, even with the pit stops being thrown in. So we will not count our chickens yet. There's a way to go to know who's going to win this final race of Season 5. The Circuit America's 5.5 kilometres long. There's those 20 corners that we saw our drivers negotiating there, and those two DRS zones that are going to keep our grid pretty close together, I think, certainly in the first quarter of this race. Tyre strategy, all important, of course, as it always is in every race. Going to keep our eye out on the weather. It has been known to rain here in Texas from time to time, so we've got blue skies at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how well our drivers can do here. Some will be a little bit nervous, I'm sure. Watch for Srivatsa, who had good pace during qualifying. Could be a dark horse here. We've seen them in the Ironman races on a Sunday have very good pace. It's a consistency challenge, I think, largely for Srivatsa, but maybe they can pull it together here. All right, folks, we're underway. 5 lights are on. All right, folks, let's go racing for the final round of G-Force Racing Season 5. From here at the Circuit of the Americas. Great start from Jakob H has led us well away, but Tom 1998 has had a very strong opening corner, trying to find a way around the outside of the RBs, but has slotted into third there, or holding on to third, I should say. Ghosty was trying to find a way through on the Alpine as they came out of turn 1. But Tom has held on to third place. Srivatsa in fifth. Jaguar Paul behind them. Then comes SS7. TM1 Active already made up a place on E36 Coat on the early corners here. The Jakob H will be trying to get away before DRS is activated. That's Mercedes going very wide, as I think a number of cars went a little bit deep in to turn 11. Then that's dropping a few of those cars back. They don't want to drop out of the 1 second of DRS. That's SS7 right at the back, which is not where the Mercedes wants to be. It's wheel to wheel between E36 Goat and Jaguar Paul in the background as they came through turn 12. We've got Tom 1998 who's made their way through on the RB of Emerge KDs. So Tom looking to make inroads on Jakob Lodska in front of them, and the RB is slotting in behind the Alpine. We'll put the tyres up because I wonder whether SS7 may well be on hards. Indeed they are. So the back four cars all on hard tyres. They'll have to be on the longer strategy here. But Emerge KD's also on hard tyres. Remember, those hard tyre runners will look to go a lot further into this race with a relatively small grid of just 9 cars here. It's highly unlikely we'll see a safety car here. So the hard tyre runners trying to play the long game, and we'll look for this race to come to them. Now, one thing I will say about having driven a couple of races around Texas is that the undercut here is massive, and when the tyres start to degrade, you could easily be 1 to 2 seconds slower than a driver on brand new tyres. So watch carefully for how well the medium runners go once they pit slightly earlier in this race. I predict there's going to be around about lap 12 or 13 as Tom 1998 is moving through on Jakob H up into the lead of this race. The RBs of Ghosty and Merge KDs swapping places into turn 12. That DRS now activated. So Tom 1998 leads the way and will want to get away from Jakob H as quickly as they can. It's a strong start from the Alpine driver here. We're only on lap 2 though of 28, a very, very long way for us to go before we'll know who is victorious here in Texas, but it's been a good start from Tom, and that did look a little bit wide from one of the RBs. Let's get down to Srivatsa, who is hanging on to the rear end of Emerge KDs, but now there's a nearly 2.5 second gap back to TM1 Active, who's come through on SS7 Jaguar Paul and E36 Goat. Remember, TM1 started at the back of the grid. SS7, of course, needs to make moves forward as quickly as they can. They need to get back on the rear end of Srivatsa in front of them so they can play a meaningful role in who's going to finish on the podium here. Remember, Mercedes chasing after, forlorn chase perhaps, but hope is still there of another Constructors Championship with the G-Force Racing League. I'm just checking the Hall of Fame here, folks, if I can get there fast enough. I think Mercedes, how many times have Mercedes won the Drivers' Championship? They were victorious in Season 4. They came second in Season 2, first in Season... Oh, sorry, I should say they won in the Ironman Season 1, came second in Season 2. So just the one Constructors' Championship for Mercedes so far, so they're looking to add to that trophy cabinet. As E36 Go is the first of our drivers to pick up a 3-second penalty for track limits, and that's if you put your 4 tyres over the white lines on the edge of this track here, folks. You do that 3 times, the in-game stewards are immediately going to give you, as TM1 Active is demonstrating for me right on cue, that you will get a 3-second time penalty, and they are all cumulative. So if you do that another 3 times, you'll get another 3 seconds. So SS7 has managed to get past the Ferrari of TM1 Active, and now is going to try and get after Srivatsa. They're 2.5 seconds down the road here. But SS7 will gradually start to have a little bit more grip as those hard tyres come into their own. Hard tyres, not necessarily really bad tyre here as the Mercedes slides round turn 8 there. Oh, apologies, turn 6. So pushing hard here for SS7 as they try to get on to the lead pack here. 2.5 seconds and gradually closing. There's TM1 Active and E36 Go, both on 3-second time penalties, and then Jaguar Poor sandwiched between the Ferrari and the McLaren. So SS7 working as hard as they can, and we'll be hoping that these cars in front start to fight, as indeed they are. Jakob Halozka alongside Goat Ghosty. Goat obviously looking to win here in Austin victory for them here is going to give them second place in the Drivers' Championship. So they could have a clean sweep here, RB. Top 2 drivers, top constructors team, if Goat Ghosty can take victory here. But if Jakub Loska finishes in front of Goat Ghosty, I go back to my maths here, folks. Yeah, if Jakub finishes in front of Goat Ghosty here, they are going to take that third place away from Goat Ghosty. So there's a huge battle here in the Drivers' Championship for us to keep an eye on. Jakub H against Goat Ghosty. The Merge KDs will do what they can to help out their teammate for sure. The Jakub H sitting pretty right now for taking that third spot away from Goat Ghosty in the Drivers' Championship. Tom 1998 has not been able to scamper away there, just 0.4 of a second clear of Jakub H, and you'll see the benefit of DRS now. If we ride on board with Jakub H, they'll get the DRS as well as the tow and the slipstream from Tom, but they've also got Goat Ghosty behind them as well. Remember, Goat will be looking to try and find a way through here. Jakub H is going to go through on Tom 1998. Does Goat Ghosty go with them? They try to. Tom is going to have the inside line for turn 13 now. So Tom will probably hang on to that. Going to need to leave Goat Ghosty some room on the outside. Now Goat will have the inside for 15. And this is why this track is so well designed for racing, because now Tom has the inside line as we head round 16, 17 and 18. So that allows Tom to hang on to second place. But it's allowed Jakub H to get away a little from Tom 1998, but now we get the DRS another time, so before you can scamper away too far, Tom is going to reel Jakub H back in again as these cars continue to fight. SS7 has dropped back in behind TM1 Active, so it's not working out for the second Mercedes driver right now, but Jakub H has sights on third spot in the Drivers' Championship, continuing to fight with Tom 1998, Goat Ghosty and Emerge KD. Srivatsa still hanging on in there in 5th place. And remember, the driver in front who might pick up a number of track limit warnings could easily slip down behind. Oh, is that a moment for Goat Ghosty? I think we had a moment for Goat there. They've dropped right out. So I wonder if there was a coming together there, but Goat has fallen right back into the clutches of TM1 Active, as has Emerge KD. So when there's been an absolute disaster with Team RB somewhere there, but that's put right back into the pack here. I know TM1 and SS7 will be delighted about that. They'll hope that the RBs can pull them back into this race. There was me looking down at my timing screen, as I did last week, and there's an RB going sideways. So Goat Ghosty and Emerge back down in 4th and 5th, and some work to do. They've now got 2 and a bit seconds. That has meant Srivatsa is now in 3rd place, but they are out of the range of DRS as Srivatsa goes wide as they come through 19. And I can see that was what I was looking at, folks. There's a number of warnings coming up on my timing screen. Various drivers going beyond track limits. So TM1 Active and E36 Go are not going to be the last drivers to pick up a track limits penalty here today. I'm pretty sure of that. So Srivatsa doing what they can to try and get on the back end of Tom 1998, but this has really helped Jakub H and Tom 1998. They're no longer under pressure from the RBs. And Emerge KDs has pitted, so they've got on to mediums. 2-stop strategy now for Emerge. Looking at and watch that time differential, folks. And I'll try and give you a clue on that on the lap times as we watch these unfold. We'll wait until Emerge does a lap or two, and I'll let you know the differences. But to give you a sense of what our lead driver is doing at the moment, last lap around 136 dead for Jakub H. So that's our marker. Let's see what Emerge can do on a first full lap on those brand new medium tyres. A little twitch from Tom 1998 coming into turn 12 there, hanging on to the rear end of Srivatsa. SS7 has got past to go Ghosty. Remember, SS7 started on those hard tyres. This race will gradually start coming to them, particularly if they've got medium runners in front of them. Ghosty happy to stick with SS7 here, but he's under pressure from TM1 Active. I wonder if there's some damage perhaps on those RBs, which is the reason they had to dive into the pits there. That could be the reason why, but maybe a coming together, a misunderstanding, or just coming together with another driver, who knows. And M1 has kindly stopped by the drivers' chat and said hi to everyone. A double champion from seasons 2 and 3, unable to race with us here, but had a pretty strong season in season 5. We hope they come rejoin us for season 6. TM1 Active running in 6th with a 3-second time penalty right now, has Ghosty in front of them. Now it's looking a little bit better for Mercedes. Long way to go, but remember, a 1-2 here for the Mercedes team and a poor result for the RB team. This Constructors Championship is not over. This is ebbing and flowing, folks. Jakub is making a bid. And remember, Jakub also stands a chance of taking 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. So even better than 3rd place by being ahead of Ghosty. They need 24 points to take 2nd spot away from Liam Mag. And with no Liam racing tonight, that's all Jakub needs to do. I know, win the race. But if they can succeed with that, that's 26 points, 25 points, I should say. That is enough to take 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. What would have happened had Jakub been able to race a few more times in Season 5? We will only be able to guess. But when they've been back with us, victory in China, and now leading here at the Circuit of the Americas on the final race of the season, it could have been a very, very different story. It's definitely been a very different story for Emerge KDs, running in last place right now. Of course, they're the first driver to pit. It looks like Ghosty has done the same now. Goat has gone on to hard tyres. They will try and take those to the end. Another 19 laps for them to do. Emerge, I'm pretty sure, will have to pit again. With Emerge running 9th. Ghosty in 8th. If it were to end this way right now, that would be 6 points for Team RB and 37 points for Mercedes. If it were to finish right now, that would be enough for Mercedes to win the Constructors' title. I believe, or I'd have to do my best again on that. Not quite sure. Not quite. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. No, they need a few more points. SS7's got to make a few more places up for that to be a reality. But yes, only 6 points would be scored for Team RB at the moment. Yeah, SS7 will need to get up to at least 3rd to make that a reality, and they need the RBs to finish at the back. I'm almost certain the RBs will not be finishing where they are right now, but only time will tell. Lap 10 now of 28 that Jakub has just begun. Emerge KD circulating pretty much on their lonesome there in 9th. Their teammate Ghosty currently running in 8th, but has made that pit stop. E36 Goat gets another 3-second time penalty. E36, the field really has spread out a lot more quickly than I imagined it would, and largely due to that incident involving the 2 RBs. That split the pack very much like a frame of snooker. Balls went flying everywhere, and that's really separated that DRS train. So our drivers got to work super hard. Jaguar all on their own in 5th place. No one around them at all. We look 3 seconds up the road to TM1 Active, who's now dropped 3 seconds back from SS7. SS7 4.5 seconds back as Emerge KDs goes fastest, 134.235. That is nearly 2 seconds quicker than Jakub. I told you that undercut is massive here in Texas. Nearly 2 seconds faster for Emerge KDs right now. So SS7 is running in 3rd. 4.5 seconds up the road is Tom 1998. But Tom has now dropped out of the range of DRS. So Tom starting to struggle to stay with the Mercedes in front of them. And if it were to finish like this right now, then Mercedes would be Constructors champions. they will be taking 40 points away. They only need 33, remember. Oh, and that's Tom 1998, a big mistake. I saw that one coming through 19. Wow, what a moment for Tom 1998. I think if they've come out of that unscathed, they went straight into the pit lane. Those medium tyres clearly had enough. Wow, we caught that live on the stream there, folks. Massive moment for the Alpine. They will need a new front wing. Don't know if they are ready. The pit crew was there. 3-second time penalty for Ghosty. And Emerge KDs has got a time penalty as well. It's going backwards for Team RB right now. And horrible moment for Tom 1998 as they come out with a new front wing, which would lost them a big chunk of time, as well as putting on those hard tyres. I think pitting earlier than they would have wanted. But Jakobich has also come in, so that was obviously around about the time people needed to pit. So Jakobich in at the end of lap 10. SS7, their teammate, now leads the way on lap 11. SS7, of course, yet to pit, nor has TM1 active, nor has Jaguar. Everyone else, no, E36 Goat is also yet to pit. The Jakobich is going to inherit the lead of this race. They are 5.5 seconds back from Jaguar in front of them. We'll see how quickly they can close them down. Fastest lap of the race, 134.376, but set by Emerge KDs. Remember, extra point for fastest lap, and that's why I had to hesitate momentarily on the constructors' calculation. I think it would be a dead heat if it were... if it had finished that way when we were talking about it, with SS7 in third and Jakobich in first. I think it would have been a dead heat in the constructors, so we'd have had to come back to you on another day with potential constructors champions. But it's looking slightly better for Mercedes than it is for the RB team right now. SS7 out in front, 3.8 seconds clear on track of TM1 active. Not a bad start for their first ever race for GeForce Racing for TM1, but they are carrying a track limit penalty. Jaguar running there in third, but Jakob H trying to close down Jaguar now. About a second they ate into Jaguar's gap on that lap alone. So Jakob will be getting those brand new hard tyres up to speed. We'll continue to watch that 4-second gap now come down towards Jaguar, and this will really help Jakob H in their quest for victory here. And this could be, and this would be, second place in the Drivers' Championship. Would relegate Liam at least down into third. Again, I'm going to have to... I need some kind of AI here, folks. We'll have to put this in the channel for next season, I reckon. We'll get an AI points calculator going for us. Yeah, so Goat does need a lot more points to overhaul that lead that Liam has on them right now. Looks like Jakobich is doing enough when they will assume the lead of this race when SS7, TM1 and Jaguar pit. That gap to Jaguar down to 2.6 seconds. No real massive battles out on track just yet, folks. I'm looking for the gaps to start getting a little bit closer. And it's 1-0 to Tottenham. 1-0 to Tottenham. Johnson has scored on 42 minutes. So the Man United fans probably crying into their beer right now. Which Emeleki is, I heard, enjoying earlier today. Free beer for Emil today. So I hope you enjoy that, Emil. Shame I couldn't enjoy that one with you. We look forward to having you back in Season 6. So E36 Go dives into the pit as Tottenham take the lead against Man United. SS7 continues to have the lead here in Texas, but remember, has yet to pit. They are pulling away consistently from TM1 active now. Jaguar is there. We've been with Jakobich for a period of time, and they've quickly closed that gap down to Jaguar. 134.706 to the last time around for Jakobich compared to the 137.3 the Jaguar was doing, and that is the tyre differential having a huge impact on speed around this pretty long circuit here. And that is why multiple pit stops, two-stop strategy around here is not out of the question at all, folks. Not out of the question at all. It's not a very long pit lane either. It's only about 20 seconds or so for a pit stop here in Texas. So 2 stops not out of the question. If you can make up 2 seconds a lap on your opponents, that time lost in the pits is not too difficult to regain. So Jakob H's next target is TM1 active. SS7 could be very rapid towards the end of this race. Ghosty and Emerge KD is gradually recovering. Ghosty there now in 6th, having pitted 5 laps ago onto their mandatory pit stop onto some hard tyres. Trying to limit the damage, but they are carrying a track limits penalty now, as is their teammate, Tom 1998, who was going well, but their race pretty much ruined by a huge moment into turn 19, which they managed to at least save the car from complete oblivion, but they did have to grab a new front wing as well as some new tyres, so that has disadvantaged Tom, who was already starting to struggle to stick with Jakob H. That's the back end of Jakob H stepping out through as they get on the power out of turn 12 there. So Jakob H is pushing hard here. Their next target in front of them is TM1 active in the Ferrari. They're not in the range of DRS just yet. We are just at the halfway point. Emil's joined us in the Twitch chat. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that free beer. And it's good of you to stop by the Twitch stream. It's been a very good, intriguing race so far, Emil. And some unexpected outcomes may actually come true. Right now, Jakob H is going to be taking 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. And Mercedes are on the cusp of winning the Constructors, but not quite. They need Jakob to at least get into 2nd. And for Jakob will take the lead of this race once SS7 pits. They'll need SS7 and Jakob to be on the top 2 steps of the podium, and Ghosty and Emerge KDs to finish where they are pretty much are, if not a little bit further down. So I am dreading the final laps of this race, folks, when I've got to try and work all of this stuff out as we approach the business end of the race here in Texas. Lap 15 of 28, we're over halfway. Merge KDs and Ghosty having some kind of moment. You'll look back on the replay later about actually what happened. I don't know if it's the RBs taking themselves out. They just had a moment, a mistake. But that front 5 was broken up and it allowed Jakob H to scamper away. And Jakob H is now scampering after their teammate. Another 3-second time penalty for TM1 active, who has now pitted for those brand new medium tyres. SS7 trying to get as much tyre delta as they possibly can. Will this be the lap that they decide to go in? We saw our drivers on the mediums who started this race on mediums really had enough of them after 10 laps. 3 seconds for Tom 1998. So it's looking better and better and better for SS7 and Jakob H. Srivatsa's on for a brilliant result here. 4th place last week. Could Srivatsa be on the podium? Thank you, Emil. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Very, very kind of you. Next time we'll have a birthday beer in Belgium. There's some good alliteration for you on a Wednesday evening. So Jakob H, round turn 1, closer and closer to their teammate. Jaguarpour, 6 seconds back, has now been reached by Srivatsa. So Srivatsa, very strong drive here at the Circuit of the Americas so far, is definitely on for a podium with everything else going on around them. Thank you, Emil. We'll take you up on that beer offer at some point. Actually, I'll buy. So you can hold me to that. Srivatsa navigating 8 and 9. We're going to go down the hill through 10. Will they make a move into 11? They are. But they will still get the benefit of DRS because the detection point is so much earlier. So Srivatsa will now have the DRS. We should see that back wing open. The letterbox opens. They're going to scamper away from Jaguarpour. Jaguarpour will still get a tow here, but Srivatsa should have so much more pace. Can Jaguarpour make a move? No, see, as we saw. And the 3 seconds for SS7, that is not what they wanted. It's SS7 pushing hard, but 3 seconds for them could be the difference between Constructors' glory or disappointment. We shall see. Plenty of time yet to go. Emerge KDs has pitted one more time. They're onto hard tyres now, but right at the back of this grid. Yes, David T, it is been a while since a Haas has been there, but where better to do it than at the Circuit of the Americas? I know Gene Haas will be absolutely delighted if that's the case. Jaguar Paul chasing after SS7 now. And SS7 into the pits, onto mediums. I think it was someone in Season 4 that won a race in a Haas. Why do you have to remind me, David T, who that was? I'll leave that glory to you. So, fastest lap, 134.171 goes to TM1 Active. So there's medium tyres working well for the Ferrari on their debut with G-Force Racing. Although I suspect that might be Sydney, who has raced with us once before. So TM1 Active going well, though. It's just not an EAID I recognise. There's some reminiscing of previous past results from David T in the Twitch chat, and David T knows everything. He is our stats guru. If there's a question you want an answer to, we'll ask David T. That should probably be a feature on the channel, actually. Ask David T. Okay, so Jaguarport has been lapped by Srivatsa, and they're probably thinking about a pit stop. They've got to get off those hard tyres eventually, and they are going to be a long way back from everyone else. SS7 and TM1 Active going wheel to wheel as they come through 13 and 14. SS7 will have the inside now for 15, and that is SS7 through on brand new medium tyres. So SS7, not the greatest qualifying, not the greatest start to this race, but they're right in the mix now, and they've got Goat Ghosty in front of them to get after. So SS7 chasing after now Jaguarport. I know Jaguarport has pitted, so the timing screen's changing all the time now. So Jaguarport has had enough of those hard tyres, as that's TM1 Active going very deep into turn 1. They'll be grateful for the runoff area. Half time in the Spurs Man United Europa League final. Tottenham leading 1-0 at half time. That match is not over, and this race is not over. So SS7 charging hard, closing down on Goat Ghosty, hand over fist it would seem at this stage in the race. Only they're taking tenths out of Goat Ghosty lap after lap. They've got Tom 1998 right in front of Goat Ghosty as well. Then they can go after Srivatsa. I would not be surprised if SS7 can really put the pedal down here. SS7 could easily take victory here. They will have so much more pace. It's been a very solid drive for them so far. There's a little bit of luck certainly have played out, but bear in mind, Mercedes want a 1-2 here. They'll be fine with where Emerge KDs is at the back. Emerge right now is only picking up 2 points. Their teammate at Goat Ghosty right now is picking up 12. That's going to be more than enough to seal the Constructors Championship. But if SS7 can get through, and Goat Ghosty's tyres are not getting any younger, and of course SS7 is bringing TM1 Active with them, and we've also got Jaguarport on a brand new set of medium tyres, will have an impact. David T, you're probably right. Jakob H wants victory here to take second place in the Drivers' Championship as well. So Jakob H is truly fighting here for the win. They want to take that second place away from Liam Mag. Oh, Emerge KDs, thank you for the Twitch update. I mean, I can't multitask like Emerge does. So our Season 5 champion took time out to come into the Twitch chat and have explained. So Goat Ghosty half spun. Emerge had to avoid them. Then they got damage. Emerge pitted, but they didn't replace the front wing. So they had to box again and again and again. So it's gone pretty horribly for Emerge KDs, which explains why they are so far back in this race. It's an absolute disaster for Emerge. And it's not worked out too well yet for Goat Ghosty, but they're doing just enough. But here comes SS7. Can they find a way through on Goat Ghosty? Will SS7 prove David T and I wrong that we think it's unlikely that SS7 will get victory here? 8 laps more to find out for sure, but SS7 wants to get through on Ghosty as quickly as they can. Is Goat still perhaps carrying some damage from that contact with their teammate earlier on? SS7 decides not to make a move here, and indeed Ghosty, a dive to the inside from Goat, avoiding action from SS7, but that does give SS7 a much better line coming out of turn 1 into turn 2. Will they go side to side in through the S-curves here? No, SS7 thinks better of it. I've seen many a car come a cropper trying that particular manoeuvre, but surely this is SS7's time now as we head towards the next DRS zone to come through on Ghosty. They've got Tom 1998 in front. David T, I think you're right. SS7's got to be strong favourite for P2 here, but there's some pretty quality drivers in front of them. Not least Srivatsa, who's not particularly close to Tom. 4 seconds back, Tom is from Srivatsa. Goat pushing really hard. They look to go through on the Alpine. SS7 trying to follow them through. Tap on the back of Ghosty under brakes there. But that has allowed SS7 has made their way through. They'll have the outside of 13, inside of 14, then inside of 15. And that is SS7 through. Had to follow very closely to the RB. SS7 pushing super hard. They are up now into third place. Has got to get away though from Ghosty and Tom 1998. Tom's really lost out from that. Dropped back 2 positions. They're losing out to Ghosty and SS7. We'll see if Tom 1998 looks to make a move back in on Ghosty. Does Ghosty try and make a way through? This is where SS7 should have an awful lot more grip than the RB and the Alpine behind them. Remember, those medium tyres did not last long at all. Absolutely right, Emerge. P1 and P3 for Merck. They win Constructors, although I think it does depend on where your teammate finishes. There's a 33-point difference. It would be 40 points if they finish P1 and P2. Sorry, P1 and P3. So I don't know if where Goat is right now, that wouldn't be enough. Goat is going to pick up 12 points for you. That isn't going to be enough to make that difference. But if SS7 can get up into P2 and Ghosty drops down a position or 2, then I think it may be on. But SS7 has a real fight on their hands because Tom 1998 and Ghosty are going hammer and tongs in 4th and 5th here on lap 21 of 28. You'd hope for SS7's fortunes here that is helping SS7 try and get away, and SS7 is now pretty much a second clear of Tom 1998 with this fighting between the Alpine and the RB. But SS7 needs to be that 1 second clear. Looks as though they're going to be going into the final corner of the lap, so SS7 should now be able to scamper away on those grippier medium tyres. Thank you, Emil. So yeah, Goat needs P6 if Merck get P1 and P3. So right now, it's still okay for RB. Ghosty is in 5th. That's going to be enough. Particularly as the fastest lap is currently held by Jaguar Poor. So that point is going to Williams right now. It's not going to Mercedes. It's not going to RB. But if SS7 can get into that second spot and Ghosty cannot improve, if Ghosty continues to go backwards, I should say, then it could be Constructors title for Mercedes. So everyone watching along with me in the Twitch chat, I can see David T and Emil doing it for me already. Thank you. Keep an eye on these positions. Let us know what you think is where people need to finish here. It's looking good for Mercedes right now, but they've got their heart in their mouth because they can see where RB is. 5th and 9th right now. Emerge is going to take fastest lap away. They've just gone in for soft tyres with just 6 more laps to go after this. 6 more laps to go after this one. So Emerge is looking to steal that fastest lap away from Mercedes. That's would be an extra point in the bag. There'll be two more drivers looking to try and do the same. I don't think we've had such a tense finish to a G-Force Racing Elite race for as long as I can remember. There's so many permutations here, so many brilliant drives already from Jakob H, from Srivatsa. We mustn't forget Srivatsa running in second here. This could be their first time on the Elite podium. Brilliant drive from the Haas. They're a long way back from Jakob H, 11, nearly 12 seconds. They're still hanging on, but they're going to come under pressure from SS7 very shortly. 3 seconds back for SS7, but bear in mind SS7 is carrying a 3-second time penalty. So this is looking good for Srivatsa for sure. And SS7 may well run out of tyres before they run out of laps. And I think, Emil, you may be right. That 3-second penalty for SS7 could be ever so costly. Goat does not look to be... Ghosty, that is. He's not being caught now by TM1 Active. And it does look as though Jaguarpool's charge seems to have waned a little. They are 12 seconds back. And indeed, Goat is now moving up into 4th place. They're getting past Tom 1998. So Goat doing all that they can to try and seal the Constructors Championship for RB. What a brilliant season. I told you it's a good season, folks. Season 5 has really lived up to expectations. Everyone has driven ever so well. It's given us thrills and spills throughout, and we're not done here. We've got 5 more laps after this one to go. Jakob H leads the way as they look to take 2nd place in the championship for Season 5. Remember, Jakob H won the championship in Season 4 and stamping their credentials here again on Season 5. But it's not going to be the Drivers' Championship for them this season. Does that look like a whine? Tom 1998 getting on the power, coming out of turn 20 there. But is recovering. SS7 has got away from Ghosty. Goat is starting to drop back and continues to have that fight with Tom 1998. It's not helping TM1 Active though. TM1 now 4 seconds off of Tom and Ghosty in front of them. Jaguarpool running in 7th. Gradually closing down on TM1 Active, but I don't think they're going to have a material impact on the outcome of this race. Now, Emerge KDs was attempting to set that fastest lap. Have they got it yet? Not yet, they haven't. So they're pushing hard on those soft tyres. Let's get down to Emerge. We might see them as they come round the final course. It depends how much damage they might still be carrying here. They were purple sector 1, personal best sector 2. What's it going to be over the start finish line? There it is, 133.531. That extra point is currently going to Team RB. So SS7 getting closer and closer to the Haas of Srivatsa. They're lapping about half a second quicker than Srivatsa. So if they can keep up this pace, they will be on the rear end of Srivatsa on the last lap of this race. Grandstand finish, but I think Srivatsa then is pretty much secured of 2nd place on the podium. And I want you guys, as you're watching along with me, 10-second penalty for TM1 Active for speeding in the pit lane as they look to try and steal that fastest lap away from Emerge KDs. You guys are watching along with me. Let me know who your driver of the day is here. There's some immense candidates. Jakob H, who's going to be victorious here, and I think he's going to take 2nd place in the championship. Srivatsa, their first finishing podium in the Elite League. Is it going to be SS7 after a slow start to their visit in Texas? Tom 1998's not had a bad race at all. Ghosty, just for the resilience shown to hang on here to grab perhaps just enough points to ensure the Constructors title goes to RB. A quiet race for Jaguarpool, TM1 Active and E36 Goat, but they're all going to pick up points here today, and I think Emerge KDs is going to be a day to forget for them. But hey, they've won the Drivers' Championship, and even those 2 points could be the difference between Constructors' glory or not. So they'll keep going there, even though it's down in 9th. SS7 getting closer and closer to Srivatsa here. I can't see Srivatsa pushing too hard. I think, David T, you're right. Travazza's tyres have got to be on the way out. 15 laps old. But I don't think SS7s are feeling pretty deep. You could see the Mercedes really squirrely under acceleration coming out of turn 20 there. Pushing as hard as they can. Remember, we saw in the first stint, those medium tyres looked pretty horrible to be in after about 10 laps. And SS7 has got to take those at least 2 more after this one. But they are getting closer to the Haas in front of them. Then they've got to get clear by 3 seconds. Let's check the penalties. Oh, blimey. Okay, wasn't expecting those. E36 Go, I think your record of most penalties is not going to be beaten. So, as TM1 Acted is disqualified for too many penalties, 37 seconds of them indeed. That record is actually held by E36 Go on 39 seconds. But TM1 Active got very close to it today. Sadly, we say goodbye to TM1 Active. They are disqualified. That helps RB out even more because RB are now going to finish at least 8th for Emerge. That's 4 points. Emerge has just doubled their point score with TM1 Active leaving us here on lap 26. So it's looking better and better for RB in the closing stages. I think they're going to do enough. And also worth bearing in mind that E36 Goat has 15 seconds of penalties, and right now Emerge is only 13-14 seconds back. So if Emerge can close in another couple of seconds, they may well even take 7th away from E36 Goat. SS7 is now within the range of DRS of Travazza, so they're looking to at least take 2nd on track. The big question is, could they get 3 seconds clear on what is pretty much only going to be 1 lap? I think that's going to be an impossible ask, as the second half between Tottenham and Manchester United is back underway. Still 1-0 to Tottenham in that one. Johnson in the first half scoring the only goal. So SS7 trying to find a way through, maybe even pressurise Travazza into a mistake here to perhaps get another penalty. Ghosty coming through on Tom 1998. That moves them up into 4th. We've got a yellow flag. Is that Tom? That was Tom. So Tom's picked up 10-second time penalty exceeding track limits. I wouldn't be surprised to see that appealed after the race if they wish to. But that's putting Tom out of there. SS7 through on Travazza. Up into 2nd on track. Can they get away? Can they get away? Travazza's driven immensely well. The best drive I've seen from them since they've been with G-Force Racing, be that in the Ironman or in the Elite League. This has been a superb drive from the Haas driver, and they will have a well-deserved podium. The only question is it going to be 2nd or 3rd? Ghosty now hanging on to 4th place, and that has guaranteed that the Constructors Championship, barring some kind of last lap disaster for RB, Constructors Champions are going to be RB this season. I called it a bit too early last time out in Vegas, but you've got to hand it to Mercedes. They have really done their absolute best here, given themselves the best chance of trying to take victory. It looks like Travazza is going to hang on. Tom 1999 has DNF'd. Of course, what does that mean? Emerge KDs is going to move up another place. So as it was looking so promising at one point for Mercedes, RB are going to be Constructors Champions here for Season 5, as well as having the Drivers' Champion Season 5. But it does look as though Jakob H is going to take 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship after what has been an absolutely superb Champions drive from the Season 4 champion. 14 seconds clear of their teammate. As you can see, out on their own, well clear of anybody else. Looking to be struggling quite somewhat for grip, it would say, at this stage in the race. SS7 is not able to pull away from Travazza, so it's going to be 3rd place on the podium for SS7. It's going to be 2nd place for Travazza. But it's going to be victory for Jakob Poloska here in Texas. Congratulations, Jakob. Brilliant drive. SS7's going to be the next Mercedes over the line. They're going to come home 2nd on track, but they will drop down into 3rd once those penalties are applied. Travazza finishes 2nd. SS7 finishes 3rd. Ghosty is going to come home to take 4th place, and we're in style take the Constructors Championship for RB. We wait to see Jaguar finish their race in 5th place. Not a bad finish in the end, given what was a pretty lonely race for them. E36 Goat is going to be the next to come round. They've got a huge amount of penalties, but they're well clear of Emerge KD. So E36 Goat, even though they're a long way back, are still going to pick up 6th place here, and more points scored in every round they've raced this season. E36 Goat, and 6th place could be one of their highest finishes here, I think, in the league. So a great drive eventually from them. Unfortunately for them, a huge chunk of penalties, 15 seconds to apply for the McLaren driver. E36 finishes in 6th. And last, and I didn't think I'd be saying this today, but last to finish today is our Season 5 champion. A final lap of honour, it would seem, waving to the crowds as they slow around the final corners here. Some donuts on track from our Season 5 champion, Emerge KDs. I might as well press this button whilst we are here. Emerge KDs is our Drivers' Champions for Season 5. And we can do this one as well, because I've definitely got it right this time. Racing Bulls are our Season 5 Constructors. Congratulations, Emerge KDs. Goat Ghosty and the team at Racing Bulls. Great performance this season. You get the Constructors. Well, that was entertaining. Victory lap for Emerge KDs. We see it in the Twitch. Thank you, Emerge, for all the entertainment. SS7 gets Driver of the Day from the game. Let me know, folks, who gets it for you. I'm going to give it to Srivatsa. Just brilliant to see them on the podium at last. That consistency finally came through, and a well-deserved podium finish for them. But I say Jakob H had a pretty strong drive, and they take 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's do some other maths, folks. So SS7 has finished in 3rd. That's 15 points for them. Ghosty finished in 4th. So that's 12 points for them. So SS7 has finished with 3 more points than Ghosty. So does that put... No, not enough for SS7 to overtake Ghosty in the drivers' standing. So Goat is going to hang on to 4th place. Final classification from today. Jakob H victorious at the Circuit of the Americas. Srivatsa 2nd place for them. My driver of the day. SS7 in 3rd. Back on the podium for SS7. Not quite enough for the Constructors. It was enough for Goat Ghosty though, finishing in 4th. Jaguar in 5th. E36 Goat in 6th. And Emerge KDs with fastest lap in the end as well in 7th. Tom 1998 and TM1 Active add 2 DNFs for today. Tom did get points though, because they did more than 75% of the race, and so they will get points for them and for Alpine. Wow, what a season we have had, and it's only right that we try and speak to some drivers if we can. Well, we've got to go into the Victor's garage first of all, so let us head in to the RB garage. Go Ghosty, Emerge KDs. Well, guys, it's at last, it's confirmed. I got it wrong last week. I predicted got in too early, but you are now Constructors winners. But you've got to tell me what happened at the first sort of third of that race. You just both seem to part ways.
Do you want to talk on me, Goat?
I mean, I was the one that made the mistake. I feel like my tires were going off really early on, and that wasn't the best corner for me, and I kind of just lost it through the corner. And as I snapped back, I'm assuming Emerge went into the back of me as he tried to avoid it. But yeah, it's really unfortunate for both of us, and nearly ended every championship hope there was.
It really did. I was like, oh my word. Because then we kept seeing Emerge. You were pitting time and time again.
Yeah.
Was it just, still trying to address damage, or just the tyres weren't sitting right, or it just wasn't working out?
So after the incident, because I started on hards, I boxed for mediums and I knew they wouldn't make it to the end, but the pit crew didn't change my wing. So I had to pit again, and I couldn't go on hard, so I had to go on mediums again. And then I ran out of tyres, so I had to box for my hards again. And then my hards weren't working, so I had to box for softs. And then I just went for the fastest lap, and that was it.
Well, you did.
But I'm happy.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the celebrations at the end on track. So thank you for giving us those. We got a front row seat for that. It looks as though I've just seen in the drivers' chat, Srivatsa has put a video of you all coming together, which is I might share on the stream in just a moment. But at least you do take away constructors title, and Emerge, of course, confirmed drivers champion. Congratulations to you for that. Go. I won't dwell on the drivers championship. It was a close fought thing between you and Jakob H, but I think Jakob H has done enough to take second and third away from second away from you. I don't know, will you've done enough to take third?
Fourth?
I think
Has SS7 won a race?
I think you get
No.
fourth. I think no, SS7 has not won a race. You'll get fourth.
Okay, then I get fourth.
Yeah, I
Thank
don't
God.
think you'll overhaul Liam though for third. So
No, definitely not. That was a long shot at itself.
it definitely was. Well, guys, firstly I want to say well done for today, well done in the league, but also thank you for talking to me throughout this season. I know it can be a little bit distracting for me to come in and say hi at various different points, but appreciate all the insight you've given us. Will you both be back for season 6, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the game about 2 minutes ago. So I'll be on.
Hot off the presses, more money sent EA's way from the bank account of Emerge KDs. Okay, well, he's a champion now, so he probably can afford it. Okay, guys, thank you ever so much. I'll let you be. Hopefully speak to you over the summer, and we'll see you for season 6.
Yeah, thank you for all the commentary.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Again.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. See you soon. All right, so great bunch in the RB garage. Let's go and speak to the Mercedes team, who I see Jakob Hloska and SS7 in the Mercedes garage. And Jakob, you've got to be celebrating right now, perhaps a little bit of disappointment in the constructors, but you're going to have second place in the Drivers' Championship. Got to be happy with that outcome in the end.
Hello. I have a second place in championship.
Yeah, I think you do. With 25 points, you needed 24 to overhaul the gap to Liam, I think. I'm just looking at the screen here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is right. So I think you've taken second place in the Drivers' Championship. So I think you've done enough.
That's perfect.
People are going to correct me in the Twitch chat very quickly, but I think you've done enough, which is not bad. How many races did you miss this season?
I think around 5, 6, I don't know, but something around that.
So to finish second after all that, and with the competition you've had around you, the RBs made it very interesting for us as far as the constructors was concerned. SS7, what were those medium tyres like right at the end of that race?
At the end, Jesus, I felt like I was going to do donuts every corner in that last sector. That's what it felt like. But no, at the start of the stint, it was like, oh my God. But towards the end, it was a struggle.
Were you guys aware of the points you needed to get today in order to have a chance?
Yeah, no, Jakob was very much in my ear saying, you need to beat this guy.
Well, you couldn't.
I really tried.
More.
But I'll tell you, silly little track limit penalty.
They did catch you out, sadly. You did finish second on track, of course. But special mention for Srivatsa, I think, coming home to take second place in the end.
He was
Srivatsa was super fast.
in the way.
In the way. Well, guys, thank you for a really enthralling final race of the season. SS7, I think you'll be in 5th place in the Drivers' Championship, but it was a close run thing in the end, and you certainly gave it a good go. Thank you guys both for a really brilliant season. SS7, a pretty obvious answer of question to you, but Jakob H, I'm going to have to ask you this one. Are you going to be back for season 6?
you will see. We'll see.
I thought you might be after that.
Obviously, it
second
depends, doesn't it? If it
Yeah.
turns out to be a good game, I feel like we'll be no, but yeah.
championship.
Yes, is the honest answer. I don't think we're gonna go anywhere anytime soon.
Very good news. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Thanks for the great racing. Thanks for speaking to me. And I'll catch you at the next one.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you, mate.
Thank you, guys.
birthday.
It's time to leave the Mercedes garage. I'm running away. Thank you. Lovely, guys. All right. Thank you. And I see E36 Goats left the McLaren garage now, so we won't be able to go and say hello to them. But my thanks to Mercedes, my thanks to RB, my thanks to all the drivers in Season 5. It has truly been brilliant. And what a grandstand finish they gave us today. We've got Srivatsa in the Twitch chat. Congratulations, Srivatsa. Brilliant drive from you here today. You really did have the pace and a well-deserved second place finish for you. So we are reaching the end of our time with the F1 24 game. That is the end of the Season 5 Championship. Just to very quickly recap our way through the season. Remember, cast our minds back to the end of February where Marcel was victorious in Japan. Then came Bahrain, M1 Righty, our double champion, back on the top step of the podium. Then in Abu Dhabi, Emerge KDs gets their first victory in Season 5. Then in Zandvoort, Jakob H gets victory. Then back to the UK, Emerge takes victory in Silverstone. Then Marcel in Miami. Marcel was so strong first half of the season, but then appeared on the scene a Ferrari with a certain Liam Mag in the driver's seat. 3 feature races in a row for the Ferrari driver. Then in Shanghai, Jakob H was back winning again for round 10 in China. Then Las Vegas last week. And then the grand finale here in Austin, where Jakob H back on the top step of the podium, once again taking second place, but they could do nothing about this season's Drivers' Champion, Emerge KDs, and our Constructors Champions, Racing Balls. So congratulations to everyone who took part in Season 5. My thanks to all of you for watching. It's a real pleasure to do this on a Wednesday evening and on a Sunday when we have the Ironmans and the friendlies and things like that. If you'd like to be part of this, head over to the GeForce Racing Discord server, link on my Twitch and YouTube channel. If you'd like to catch up on any of the races through the GeForce Racing League seasons, you'll be able to see those all on my YouTube channel. There's a link right here on my Twitch feed, and we look forward to seeing you back for Season 6. I can't tell you exactly when that's going to start. We'll see what the F1 25 game is looking like, but we're hoping for good things, and if it delivers us the kind of racing that we have seen here in round 12, I'm very excited for Season 6 of the GeForce Racing Elite League. All right, folks, have a great summer ahead if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. Have a great winter if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you here on M1 Racing, where we'll go racing one more time. Until then, have a great month or two ahead, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.